Hello everyone, I'm back in the shop again. Welcome back to the lifeboat. I apologize for my long time away from here. I had gone out of the country for a couple weeks. You might have seen the video that I did there about I went down to get some stem cells for some health reasons here. But I'm back here now, and I have done some work to the boat, so I'm going to flip this camera around. The problem is, I'm not a very technical guy, so I have a lot of video footage of things that I've done to this boat, like making those strips that are on there and so on and so forth. But I gotta learn the technology to stitch them all together and put it into a compilation video, which I'll probably do at the end. So here's where I'm at now. This side is closing in on being done, and the other side's even further along. But I'm going to show you something. There's that design I showed you about on my canoe. That there, I just basically cut all those pieces. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces in the middle, 5, 6, and 7, 8 over there. So you basically cut them out on with the saw right there, and I laid them out on the workbench, and then just kind of staple them in place as I go. So this is all these strips are glued together. They're stapled in place, and when the whole hull is done, all these staples will get removed, and then I will fair the hull. Now that's basically making it completely smooth, where right now there's like flat section here, flat section here, flat section here, flat section here. I got to make it completely round. It's there's a day or two's work in fairing the hull and getting it ready for fiberglass. And so I think I showed you on another video in the past on how this all works. I'll show you this. So let me just see if I can show you. I'm not sure, but you can see the way there's it's hollow. It's concave curve there. This piece here on that side, quite round. Same, so basically it gets glued together, and no matter what the curvature of the boat, whether it's like this or whatever, like this stays like a full glued up surface no matter what angle it's at, you see? That's the whole idea of it all. Plus, and then there's no voids. There's no voids in here at all. So, many of the kind of tricky stuff now, getting into where it comes into the stem. The stem and the stern is always a little bit difficult, and it takes a bit of doing, but it's just time, and as it goes along, it becomes tighter and tighter. And then while I was doing this, I did up these pieces. So there's basically going to be like a football shaped piece where they change direction, basically. Instead of being curved, they go straight. So I got another 2 strips to do on this side here. And then this is ready to go. So what you do is you hold it, put that in place, get underneath and scribe along this line on the underside of this piece here, cut it out. And it'll probably take a half a day to get it done right. But you just slowly come up to that line with a hand plane and stuff until it drops in, and it'll get glued in place, and then this side is done. And then do the same thing on that side. So about 1 day of work away from the strips being done, and then fairing up that hull and doing the fiberglass. I'm going to do some more strips today on the other side, but oh, how do I get the glue in there? You play doctor. Let me see. With this. Fill that full of glue. Squeeze it into that groove, and you're all good. And you just push it in there. You staple it on. The glue squishes out, makes a big mess. Clean up your mess, and you're good to go. However, something else on my mind, as you know, always. I kind of started this channel to kind of show you ways to remove yourself from the madness of the world and create your own kind of lifeboat, whatever your lifeboat is. You know, What I found when I was out here working on the boat, having a hard time making a video because I gotta do separate sessions just to do the videos. Because when I'm working on the boat, I get completely into it and I just think of nothing but building the boat, which proves the point that it is a lifeboat to sanity. So when I'm working on that boat, you know, a war somewhere doesn't make any difference to me. You know, there's a drought somewhere, it does not affecting me. I'm just working in the moment on that boat. So just kind of proves the point of what I was talking about. But I was watching a video today and I wanted to kind of share a little thought or two with you. Might be a little out there for some people, but I believe that there's a massive shift in the mindset, the common mindset of man. It's happening, but it's going to speed up incredibly fast. I would argue it already has, but it's going to get even faster. I watched a video today. It was put out by Peak Prosperity. And the guy that had some thoughts there that are just, like, he just put it in words so well that of what I was thinking. So I thought I'd just share it with you, some of the stuff. So he talked in there about, he said, Hemingway was asked, how did you go broke? He was once a very rich man. And he said, slowly at first, and then all at once. So there's this concept he put out there about private knowledge versus common knowledge. And private knowledge is like, I know that I know. And maybe you know that you know, but I don't know that you know and you don't know that I know. That's called, when you know that I know and I know that you know, or you know that I know, that's common knowledge. Or when the masses know that everyone else knows, that's common knowledge. So kind of like the story of the emperor has no clothes, you know, the big arrogant emperor. We could call him Justin, say. Complete asshole, apparently. He's walking down the street with no clothes on, saying he's fully clothed, wearing fancy robes. People looking at it thinking, well, he must be wearing something, but I can't see it. The odd fellow's whispering to his neighbor, I don't think he's wearing anything. Don't say that. And down a little ways, somebody else said, I don't think he's wearing it. Don't say that. Till the kid yells out, hey, he's wearing no clothes. And then the whole facade came down. Like that, private knowledge became common knowledge. And, you know, in this world, something happened in the last 3 years. And there's been a lot of private knowledge, an awful lot of private knowledge. Not a whole lot of common knowledge, what the masses know. Like, for example, I did a video about Damar Hamlin recently. And I could be wrong on it, but I think we all know. So recently, Damar, he did an interview with Michael Strahan. And he was asked, he says, you're a very fit young man, you could run circles around me. I want to know, what did your doctors say caused your heart to stop? And 10 very long seconds later, very awkward seconds, Damar says, that's something I really don't want to touch on right now. I want to stay away from right now. It was very awkward. What was left unsaid was deafening. It was absolutely deafening. I think most people know. Now there's a steady drip of information coming now, you know. The Twitter files, you know. If you're paying attention and you're not watching the news, there's a steady drip of information coming out now. Crazy amount of information. You know, and people are saying, how the hell did that train go off the train tracks in Ohio? And then why did they burn the toxic stuff? Like, you know? And then why is there all of a sudden, most people who watch the news don't even know this. That's the only place to get their information. But you don't know that there's like 6 fires in total burning in North America, or was at least last week, of chemical fires. Now there's 2 more in Mexico. I think it's Pemex facilities that are burning. So now people are starting to whisper, to each other, I don't think the emperor's wearing any clothes. And I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to be. But at some point in time, in the very, very near future, I think it's very near future, the emperor's going to yell, the boy's going to yell, the emperor's not wearing any clothes. And people are going to wake up and go, what, really? People didn't die suddenly 3 years ago? I mean, 6-year-old kids didn't have heart attacks and die 3 years ago? Well, everybody knows this, right? But they're believing the stories that the news is putting out. And, people are now talking, the odd person I hear talking about the Khazarian Mafia. You want to figure out who the hell's doing this shit to you? Do your research on that. And a little tip, don't use Google. Google is owned by the Khazarian Mafia. You won't find anything on there. And I'm not going to tell you how to find it. Just go find it. Use your creativity. Because if I showed you where it is, you won't read it. But if you go looking for it, you'll find it. You won't be able to stop reading it. So anyway, just a couple of thoughts, know your enemy. There's years when nothing happens. And there are weeks when years happen. And for years, the people sleptwalk. Everyone was sleepwalking, just listening to the news, doing what you're told. Government's good, doctors know everything, so on and so forth. But now they're coming into a mass conscious shift. So welcome to the Great Awakening. It's going to be rough. It's going to be very, very, very rough for a lot of you. But it has to happen. We have to go through it. But things that you knew, absolutely knew, were right 6 months ago, you're going to absolutely know are BS in 6 weeks from now. Of that, I'm sure about. Anyway, have a good one. I'll put some more videos on actual construction here now that I'm back in the saddle. And I'll show you some stuff coming up on the boat. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.